A very good morning, dear children. Today we are going to discuss the poem The Plaint of the Camel from the book. We have already discussed it in the class. Now, from the book, line by line, I am going to explain it to you. Canary birds feed on sugar and seed. What are canary? Canaries are type of birds. They feed on sugar. What is the meaning of feed? Feed means the act of giving food. So they feed on sugar and seed. Parrots have crackers to crunch. What is a cracker? A cracker is a thin biscuit, dry biscuit, which if you eat, it makes a crunchy noise. Now, like yesterday, I gave you the example that when you eat pork or munch, what happens? When you break it, you get a crunchy noise. So, when the parrots eat crackers, it gives a crunchy noise. And as for the poodles, they tell me the noodles have chickens and cream for their lunch. So poodles, what do you mean by poodles? Poodles as a type of dog with thick curly fur. So poodles also, they eat chickens and cream. Okay. But there's never a question about my digestion. Anything does for me. But what happens for the camel? Nobody even thinks because it can digest anything and everything. So, nobody cares about what the camel is eating. No special food for camel. Anything is okay for the camel. Next, cats, you are aware, can repose in a chair. So, cats, here the camel is complaining that the cats can relax. What is the meaning of repose? To repose is to relax or to rest. So, the cats can relax on a chair. Chickens can roost upon rails. What is the meaning of roost? Roost means to settle down, to rest. Okay. So chickens can also rest on the rails. Rails means a type of fence or bar or series of bars. Okay, they are fixed up so that to separate part of something. It is used as a barrier, right? So chickens can rest off on the rails. Puppies are able to sleep in a stable. And where do puppies take rest? In a stable. What is a stable? A stable is a building where domestic animals are sheltered. Okay. And oysters can slumber in pails. What is an oyster? Oyster is also a large flat sea creature that lives in a shell. So oysters can slumber in pails. What is a slumber? Slumber means sleeping and in pails means buckets. Okay? But no one supposes a poor camel dozes. Any place does for me. So, but nobody even thinks that a poor camel also dozes. Dozes means feels sleepy. And any place is okay for the camel. Lambs are enclosed where it's never exposed. So, lambs are always surrounded, enclosed, where it is never exposed. Where from a place, they are surrounded in a place which is not from where it can never be opened. Okay, from cover, it cannot be covered. It's not, they are covered actually. They cannot be exposed to something else. So, lambs are enclosed or surrounded by a place where it's never exposed, from where this lamb is not exposed. Coops are constructed for hens. So there are houses, separate houses constructed for the hens too. Kittens are treated to houses well heated. Kittens means, what are kittens? The babies of the cat. So the kittens are well treated in the houses. And pigs are protected by pens. Pens here means it is the place where the pigs are kept. It is not the pens with which you write. Here, pen is denotes the house of the pig. But a camel comes handy wherever it's sandy. anywhere does for me. But for a camel, anywhere and everywhere is okay. Isn't it? People would laugh if you rode a giraffe or mounted the back of an ox. Have you ever seen anybody riding on a giraffe? No, never, isn't it? So people would laugh to see if somebody is riding on a giraffe or mounted the back of an ox or rode on the back. So mounted means sitting on the back of an animal, riding on the back of an animal, especially horse. Okay. So or mounted the back of an ox. It's nobody's habit to ride on a rabbit. Can you ever sit on a rabbit? Never, isn't it? Or try to bestraddle a fox? Bestraddle means sit across the back of an animal with a leg on either side. Okay, so putting your legs on both the sides, you sit on an animal, that is called a bestraddle. So you have never seen people sitting on the back of a giraffe or a rabbit or an ox or a fox. But as for camel, he is ridden by families and any loads does for me. But what a camel complains that for him, nobody cares about the load which he has to carry. A snake is as round as a hole in the ground, and weasels are wavy and sleek. So now the camel is complaining about its features. What? He says that a snake is round as a hole in the ground. You have seen a hole in the ground, it's generally round. So the snake is also like that. And weasels are also small animals with fur, short legs and long tails. So they are also very sleek. And no alligator could ever be straighter than lizards that live in a creek. Creek means it's a small narrow river. Okay. So here the camel is appreciating the feature of a snake, a weasel, an alligator and a lizard. But the camel's all lumpy and bumpy and humpy. Any shape does for me. So what does he say? That for my feature, it's always lumpy, humpy and bumpy. What do you mean by lumpy? Lumpy means it's covered with lumps. Lumps are mass, compact mass. And bumpy means uneven. And humpy means has a hump. You know, you have seen a camel, so you can see the hump at the back of a camel. So what a camel complains that for me, my entire features is lumpy, bumpy and humpy. No shape, no particular shape for me. So I had explained you children what through this poem, what the poet is actually trying to show us. The poet is actually trying to portray the nature of a human being, that a human being always has got a habit of complaining. They are never satisfied with what they have. I have sent you the word meanings. Children, it's written at the top which word meanings you have to write on the book and which word meanings you will have to note down in your literature notebook. I hope it's clear to all of you. Thank you.